Hi, and welcome to Ukulele 2, the online course. Today we're going to talk about the C major scale and the C major scale box diagram. Before we get started, go ahead and get your chart that says C major scale at the top, and the chart kind of looks like that. So go ahead and pause the video, go ahead and get the chart, then come on back and we'll get started. Okay, so just follow along on your chart, and I'm going to talk about the C major scale box diagram. The C major scale box diagram is not your usual way of presenting the scales or any kind of notation for the ukulele or any string instrument actually. But I'm going to use it today as an introduction to C major scale. I will touch on the other ways that you might see notations in a later video, but for today this is how we're going to get introduced to the C major scale. So let's get started. If you notice at the top, and please follow along on your diagram as well, you see G, C, E, A. These are the open strings on your ukulele, and they represent the columns, which are your strings. So each column is a string. So this column here, the first column, is your G string. Next column is your C string. Next column is your E string, and lastly the last column is your A string. Okay, so those are the representations for strings. Columns are strings. Okay, next you see like a zero or O, letter O notation over here. What these represent is open, and open C string. Okay, so when you see this or you're playing this, you will not be pressing on any notes here, and you will just pluck or play the open C string. Or if you see this one here, you'd be playing the open E string or the open A string. Okay, next, the numbers that you see on the diagram represent the fingering on your left hand. The fingering on your left hand for the ukulele. So this is the ukulele, this is the fingering for the left hand. So this second finger would be located right over here. Next would be the first finger and third finger on the second string. Okay, first finger, third finger on your second string. Okay, next would be your second finger and third finger on the very first string. Second finger, third finger. Okay, so the C major scale goes as follows. You start with an open C. Next would be the second finger on the second fret, third string. Next, open E string, open E string. Next would be the first finger on the second string, first fret. Next would be the third finger, third fret. Lastly, the first string, open A string, second finger, second fret, first string, third finger, first string, third fret. So, first one would be the open C string. Okay, open C string. Follow along on your diagram that you have. Open C string. Next would be the second finger coming down. Next would be the open E string. Open E string, second string. Next would be the first finger coming down, then the third finger coming down on that second string. And lastly would be the first string, open A, then would be the second finger on the second fret, first string, and lastly the third finger on the third fret, first string. Okay, so that's the fingering for the C major scale. Go ahead and rewind this if need be to get a little bit more comfortable. By all means, try to get fairly comfortable with the idea of the C major scale, the fingering, and the whole concept about this. Once you kind of understand it, in the upcoming video, you're going to actually play at the C major scale. So when you're ready, we'll see you for the next lesson.